Hey everybody, I'm Clarkstown Supervisor George Homan, and welcome to our second edition of Meet Me on Main, our show where we go out and check out all the best restaurant gems that Clarkstown has to offer. Today we're starting off at an authentic coal-fired brick oven restaurant right here in New City. Of course, we're at Agnello's. Let's go on inside and meet the owner, Steve. So, Steve, this is a really great place. It's become a staple within our community, and pizza making really runs in your family blood. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Started out in Harlem with Patsy's in Harlem in 1933, one of the pioneers of brick oven pizzas. And with that, you know, we've expanded through Grimaldi's under the Brooklyn Bridge. I used to own Brooklyn Pizza in Hackensack and Edgewater, and then from there we came into New City. And it's just been a great ride.
So Patsy's is like the granddaddy of them all in terms of pizza places in Manhattan, 1933. The relationship to your family with Patsy's is?
It was my wife's great uncle and aunt. My wife's uncle, Patsy Grimaldi, worked as a waiter in Patsy's in Harlem, and then eventually, later on in life, opened up Grimaldi's under the Brooklyn Bridge.
So you really have a great heritage that you bring with you from, by way of there to New Jersey, now here to Rockland County. You opened up here in 2005.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the, what attracted you to the New City area.
Well, I know it's a great town because I pretty much grew up in New City. I went to Clarkstown North, and it was a great town. The people are great people here, and we really, we enjoy doing what we're doing here in Agnello's. So
you have the only really coal-fired brick oven in the area, right?
Yes,
so,
correct.
That really makes this place distinguished and special. Tell us, what makes a coal-fired pizza different from other pizzas?
Coal-fired brick oven pizza is very different than a conventional pizza. We use only the best and finest of ingredients and complemented that with the coal oven. It just adds a very, very distinct flavor where you can't duplicate it. Our coal-fired oven has been in our family since 1933 from Patsy's in Harlem, and this is our whole family legacy.
Tell me a little bit just about your menu. How would you describe your menu?
Well, our menu is a very diversified menu at this point. Yes, we do have the absolute best brick oven pizza out there, but at this point we have some nice specials that we do every single day. Everything's different every week. One of our best dishes is an Italian dish called zuppa di pesce. That has clams, mussels, scallops, calamari, and shrimp. It's in a spicy marinade sauce, and it sells like crazy. We're doing a salmon dish, which is a salmon with quinoa succotash in a spicy mustard sauce. We're doing a filet mignon. Our clams casino are basically clams on a half shell, and it's a bacon and clam and breadcrumb mixture, and we bake it in our oven. And it comes out very quickly, and it's got a nice sauce on it.
And what are some of your other signature dishes that you guys prepare?
Well, we also have a sausage and broccoli rabe with orecchiette pasta that's made with a white wine sauce on top of our stove. We also do, the regular Italian dishes, any of the franchise, marsalas. We started out here with a very basic menu. It was a different time, and now our menu has pretty much changed us into a full-fledged Italian restaurant.
The sausage and broccoli rabe at Agnello's is fantastic. This is one of my go-to dishes every time I come here, and I eat here 2 to 3 times a week.
Everything we do is all family recipes that have been going on since I was a baby.
You're here since 2005, but really this is a tradition that goes back to 1933, almost 90 years.
Patsy's in Harlem was more of a restaurant than just a pizza place. And over the years, it evolved throughout the family members that have opened restaurants and pizzerias. They kind of tamed down the menu. So, and then later on, after we came into New City, we said, you know what, we're going to go back to the old way of doing things with the Patsy's recipes, and we just kept going with it. We use nothing but the finest and freshest ingredients, and we use nothing that comes out of a can. We don't even own a microwave in the restaurant. So everything is made to order from our family recipes that dated back from Patsy's in Harlem.
As any great Italian restaurant, they have to have great sauces.
Our two best sellers on our sauces is our marinade sauce and our vodka sauce. Customers, we can't keep it on the shelf. That's how great it sells. And we also sell it on the internet, and we can ship it anywhere in the country.
You've got great desserts here. Tell us about your desserts.
We have homemade cannolis, and we also, every week we do a different special dessert. It's kind of like a parfait, and it's called zucchito, and it's pistachio mousse and white chocolate mousse. Another outstanding seller. It's unbelievable.
You also do great zeppelis here, right? That's like a staple for the place.
That is one of the amazing desserts we ever had. They're zeppeli doughs, stuffed with cannoli cream and topped with hazelnut chocolate, and we put strawberries on top of it. We also bake our own toffee chips. We do our own brownies for brownie sundaes, and if you want to even if you want to just order them to go, and people just keep coming back for them constantly.
Tell me a little bit about your experience with COVID. I mean, that's obviously has been a very tough time for all of our restaurant owners, and I know the town helped out. What was your experience, working with the town?
Let me first start by saying the town has been outstanding to us. Mr. Gillies, Jeff Gillies, he's one of the most wonderful people I've ever met. He came here, he approached me, and he said, "Listen, Steve, you have to have your outdoor seating." Everybody was doing it at the time, and I was a little bit hesitant at first, but he convinced me to do it, and it was one of the best things we ever did. And the people in the town just have been so receptive to everything. It's been really nice. The bad part about it is we had to go through COVID.
Well, the outdoor dining really was a key to this, and we're continuing that. In fact, the town is going to continue that through 2021. Resolutions have been passed extending that and authorizing it. So, as the weather starts to warm up, you'll continue to have that option, which is really a great feature, and hopefully that's going to be a permanent thing here in the town. It'll be, as you said, one of the positive things that we can take, probably one of the only few positive things that we can take, from this COVID experience, the ability to be able to have more outdoor dining opportunities for people in our community.
The basic thing is that we need to get people coming out. I mean, not just Agnello's, all of the restaurants in New City and Clarkstown. So nobody has to be afraid to come out. We're doing everything according to what the health department tells us to do.
Tell us a little bit about just some of the decorations around the wall of the restaurant as well.
Everything that's here, it's like kind of like a takeoff of Patsy's in Harlem, where we have all the old memorabilia, and not only that, my wife's father was a musician, so a lot of these people he played with and he's met, so we've gotten autographed pictures from a lot of different famous people. It's pretty nice.
And I love the mural on the wall. Good food, good wine, good friends. That's what you're going to get when you come to Agnello.
Yes, absolutely. It's just a nice family environment. Kids come in. It's a great family place.
Well, that was Agnello's. Next up, we're going to stop at a historic tavern in West Nyack with some presidential connections. Stay tuned. In 2016, the town of Clarkstown launched a program to honor our local veterans and those currently serving in the armed forces of the United States. Residents or businesses can sponsor a veteran or active duty service member with a military tribute banner. The banners will be displayed on the light posts in the various hamlet centers from Armed Forces Day and Memorial Day to Veterans Day. Each banner honors a veteran or active duty service member by displaying their photo, branch of service, and military service information. Local families and businesses can sponsor a banner, which are given to the family or sponsor at the end of the display period. The banners are a small way we can acknowledge the sacrifice many of our neighbors have made, serving our community and our country.
I would just like to say I'm so pleased with the banner program that the town of Clarkstown has done, because I love to drive down Main Street now. And so many of the banners are people that I know.
The military banners themselves are a very great idea, and they're very impressive.
I also think it's wonderful to have this banner program because it's so important, it's so powerful in a community to accept veterans and to make us part of your community. And I think that the banners recognize our service.
Military banner in New City makes me feel like I'm important and part of the town. Honoring me and the rest of the veterans in this way, I think brings to light that there is people out there that serve the country, and it's good for the community, I think.
My kids were so excited to see the banner, and I think that it gives them a sense that I am being recognized for something that I did, that something I did mattered, and I think that's very powerful.
Our local veterans and active duty service members are our true heroes, and this program allows Clarkstown to proudly honor them all throughout the entire town. We hope that you'll consider joining us in honoring those who deserve it the most. For more information about the program or to sponsor a banner, please call my office or visit our website at www.clarkstown.org and click the Military Tribute Banner program. Thank you. And welcome back to Meet Me on Main, our new show where we check out all the best restaurant gems that Clarkstown has to offer. Well, if you like history and great comfort food, then our next place is right up your alley. Located in the heart of the West Nyack Historic District, the 1840 Tavern, as its name suggests, has been a tavern since 1840, hosting U.S. presidents and other celebrities. Let's go inside and meet our new owner, Kieran. So, Kieran, thanks for having us at the 1840 Tavern. It's a great historic place, and tell us a little bit about how you got into the restaurant business.
Got into the restaurant business, I guess I was only 14 years of age, working in a local pub around the corner from our house. It's been great, something I loved. It was always a passion, enjoyed meeting people, the excitement, the buzz of the restaurant, the bars, and of course in Ireland it's a very social thing, and kind of stayed with it. Was out of it for a little bit, but then moved to America in the famous year of 1994. And somebody said, oh, you can make good money over here doing it. There's a thing called tips. They tip you, where they don't do that in Ireland. I don't know, the rest is history. I've been doing it for the last 26 years since I've been in America.
So, Kieran, tell us a little bit about where you are from in Ireland.
From a place called Limerick, actually, from Limerick City. It's on the southwest of Ireland. Probably it's about 2.5 hours from Dublin, the capital city. So it was a wonderful place to grow up, a very sporting city.
How did you come up with the name, the 1840 Tavern?
We wanted to maintain the historic part of the name, like the Clarksville Inn, and then so I was just walking around the building one day and there was a historic landmark outside, so I started reading that, and it said, in 1840 Thomas Warner built the first inn here, so I said, there you go, 1840 Tavern. I'll say that to my wife, and she'll make the final decision on that. And she said, "Oh my God, you're right." I'm like, "Wow, you said yes." So that's how we got that name, and it's kind of spins, Kind of people are getting to say, "Oh, I'll meet you at the 1840 Tavern." Oh, the old Clarksville Inn. So it's great as long as I get here.
This has actually been a lot of history here, connection to some presidents. So tell us a little bit about the building and what attracted you to taking this place over.
We wanted to kind of obviously use the historic part of it. So in this room here we brought in, this was kind of like our Ireland meets America room. You might notice around the place there's some pictures of American presidents when they went to Ireland having a pint, etc. And there's other things here that, from where I come from as well. And then we have our dining room where there's a lot of historic artifacts and like invitations to, they had a lot of like farewell balls that went on here, recruits that went off to the Civil War back in mid 1864, something like that. So we have a lot of pictures and memories of that in our party room outside.
Absolutely, and directly behind you, the mural on the wall I love. It really kind of shows the hotel and the inn the way it would have looked, 100 plus years ago, and it really kind of captures the essence of what this place was. So tell me a little bit about your menu. What would be like your top couple of dishes that people would keep coming back for?
I'd say on the appetizer now, you could say the presidential mac and cheese with comes with bacon and peas as well. That's a big hit, and also our sticky rock shrimp is in a sweet chili sauce, and it's a breaded shrimp, and it comes with noodles as well. Very, very tasty. Everybody just loves that.
You've got some great classic Irish dishes.
Yes, I suppose the first one normally we would talk about it would be our shepherd's pie. Some people make it with beef, but we do the traditional way with the lamb. So we also have our Guinness pot pie, which is made with beef, with a puff pastry, and we've got rave reviews on our fish and chips. The finest cod we get, and it's like a light beer batter. We have our short rib, with like parts of mashed potatoes, and our vegetables are dynamite, really excellent. Has great, tremendous flavour with the demi-glaze as well on it. And we have an array of sandwiches, which our burgers. We have an 1840 burger here, which is a big favourite, and it's like with a bacon onion jam. It comes with cheddar cheese, and very, very popular, mouth-watering kind of, if I'm a little bit biased, but yeah.
You also have, ravioli dishes, and you've got, some steaks as well, right?
Yeah, we do indeed, yeah. We have like a 14-ounce New York strip steak, and we also do a burrata ravioli, which is very well received.
Aside from your story, your chef has a pretty unique story as well, correct?
Our head chef here, Jack Higgins, he worked down in the Plaza Hotel in New York City, and they did a lot of major events for presidents, kings, captains of industry, celebrities.
I was very fortunate that early on when I graduated from the Culinary Institute, that I worked at the Harvard Club of New York. From there I went to the Sea Grill in Rockefeller Center, other private clubs. I was at the Gaslight Club for a period of time. I was at Tavern on the Green for a number of years. But when I was at the Plaza Hotel, we had some very high-end guests, of course. My career has kind of led me that I've been able to cook for some very famous people, 3 presidents of the United States, some kings and queens and princesses from around the world. It was a great experience. When I was Eddie Murphy's chef at his house, it was a great experience too. Very different from the other ones, obviously much smaller, but a very personal relationship. And that's what cooking is for me. That's what being a chef is. I think it's a very personal relationship.
So it's kind of cool. It's a good talking point with our guests when they come in. They're all always up for a chat with Jack.
You've got a lot of beers on tap. You want to tell us a little bit about your bar?
Yeah, we have a very good selection. We have 13 beers on tap. Of course, our standard one would be, we pride ourselves on the Guinness. I worked for Guinness many moons ago, and it seems to be always there somewhere with me. So we pride ourselves on having a great pint of Guinness. We have Smithwick's, Harp, also many great beers, local beers, some craft IPAs, etc. So it's a good spot to spend a couple of hours.
Kieran, if you could just tell us a little bit about how the town kind of worked with your restaurant, your establishment, particularly during COVID.
Yes, they were extremely helpful with any the new guidelines and keeping us up to date on changing restrictions, and how best to keep our patrons safe, our employees safe, and it was really wonderful in a time of a very uncertain time to have that guide you through it. It was really very important. It was wonderful, yeah.
Well, that was the 1840 Tavern, a place that just exudes history, charm, and has great comfort food. Next up, an authentic Mexican restaurant. The owner has 3 locations here in Clarkstown. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Elaine Applebaum, Superintendent of Recreation and Parks for the town of Clarkstown. The Recreation and Parks Department provides comprehensive programs and activities for our entire community, from preschoolers right through senior citizens. Whether it's spring, summer, winter, or fall, we have something for everyone all year long. Clarkstown remains committed to providing our residents with a variety of quality programs that are family-friendly and of individual interest to all. Visit clarkstown.org and click on the Recreation Guide tab to find out more about all that we do and offer. We hope you take advantage of all the wonderful facilities and programs that we offer here in Clarkstown. This is what makes Clarkstown such a wonderful place to live.
Welcome back to Meet Me on Main, our new show where we check out the best restaurant gems that Clarkstown has to offer. Our final stop of today is an authentic Mexican restaurant. The owner, Caesar, is building his own restaurant empire right here in Clarkstown. Let's go in and check out Sangria's. So, Caesar, thanks so much for having us on Meet Me on Main. Delighted to be here. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from originally.
I was actually born in El Salvador, right in the border of El Salvador and Guatemala, and I was born and raised there, and I came here when I was 16 years old. Since 1997, I've been in Rockland County, and I love it so far. It's been the best place to live. We start as a little deli in Lake Road on Congress in 2013, and back in the day used to call Nose Deli, and then we changed the name to Sangria's Restaurant in 2015 when I decided to open the dining room. And since then, it's been very grateful. Town, the whole community is very supportive.
So it's you and your mom and your sister, and you've really become like a little bit of a mogul here. You live in Clarkstown, right? But you've got 3 distinct locations. And,
right.
And 2 of them you opened up during the pandemic, right?
Correct, yes. When we started back in 2013, it's just me and my mom cooking in the kitchen. And I found out there was another bigger place, and we went and we moved right before the pandemic. We moved November 26, 2019, and right before the pandemic was the best of the best. It was every day, which is better, better, better. And you know,
that's the old Dynasty Inn
Dynasty Inn
on Route 303.
303, yeah, 97 South Road 303. And this came up, this third place, and Nanuet.
So this location in Nanuet,
yes.
In the Nanuet Mall South.
Nanuet Mall South, yeah, 416 Market Street. Came and looked at it, and I fell in love with the place when I saw it. I say, I take it over, and we opened in October 2020, and so far it's been amazing. Consider the situation, I think we're doing real good. Right. People love our food. We try to do our best fresh ingredients possible. Everything's homemade. We don't buy nothing already made.
Tell me a little bit about the menu and what are like your top sellers, your best dishes?
One of the biggest dishes we always had it, and we had it since we opened, is called the shrimp Acapulco, which is fresh shrimp stuffed with fresh Chihuahua cheese, which is white nice cheese, almost like a mozzarella, but it's not. And you wrap it in bacon. Most restaurants they sell it dry. I create a little jalapeno cream sauce. And just pour a little sauce over the top and makes the flavor much better. Our paellas, we have it called Sangria's Paella. Everybody makes paella, but we make it different. I like to put chorizo and chicken in mine. Again, the pork and the chicken, I think, brings the flavor of the other stuff. When you mix it with cleansed mussels, calamari, and shrimp, it's a great combination. It's made by order, it's made fresh, whatever they like, whatever they don't like, we can pretty much make it as they taste. Our steak, we use 05 Angus steaks. Our biggest seller is skirt steak. Everybody has skirt steak. We call it churrasco, as a real Spanish name for it. It is complicated to serve medium rare. I think the more flavor out of the steaks, medium, so you can cook a little bit longer, and it's real nice and tender. And again, we always put spices on it, and always use fresh ingredients. We sear jalapenos and onions and mushrooms over. That extra spice that you put the fresh jalapenos, for me, brings the flavor of the meat better. And I think that's one of other dishes besides fajitas. We sell a ton of fajitas. Right. We use fresh ingredients again. I like to use the chicken tender fresh because that tender of the chicken is the best way to sear the chicken with the peppers, onions, and mushrooms. And we serve on a seasoned plate with your side dish of rice and beans and garnish with guacamole, pico de gallo, and sour cream.
Right.
And you get your homemade tortillas, that's how you're supposed to eat it. Like pretty much make your own taco.
I stop here in Sangria's a couple of times a week. The food is great and the people are great.
Tell me about any great Mexican place, any great Spanish food place really needs great drinks. You've got a really wonderful bar here.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the bar and your margaritas and what you're named after, your sangria.
Our top sellers definitely are margaritas. We have a great selection of margaritas. We have over 15 different margaritas. And we have one which is the best, I think. It's called the Mexico's Finest, which is made with 100% Patron, San German liqueur, lime juice, a little bit of Grand Marnier, and it's just the mix is soft. When you mix all these liqueurs together, it's excellent.
And then, of course, your name, Sangria. So tell us about your sangria here.
Our biggest is Spanish red sangria, which is made with different brandies, different liqueurs. Nice wine from Spain, a little bit of orange juice and pineapple juice mixed into it. And again, we have that recipe since we opened, and so far people loving it. It's nice and strong. You can taste the wine, you can taste the brandy, you taste the juice at the same time. And we garnish that with fresh sliced apples and oranges and some berries. It's very fresher drinks. A little on the strong side, but it's also very popular for us.
So you have a variety of sangrias, a variety of margaritas.
We have over 65 different tequilas.
So really, you could come here and you could experiment. You could be here, come here every week, and you wouldn't have you could have a different margarita every week.
Yes, for at least 2.5 months straight.
The margaritas are fantastic here, nice and refreshing. I always get them here at Sangria's.
And so you're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Congers?
Congers open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The one on 45 Lake Road, yes.
Right, and then for the other two, here and in Congers?
We have the same hours. We open 11 to 10. Weekends 11 to 11, but most likely 11 to 10 is our standard hours every day.
You have future plans. You're looking to open up a new place, Spanish Steakhouse, within the next year. Tell us a little bit about that.
I have plans to do a nice Spanish steakhouse, but I also want to bring something that Rockland County doesn't have. That same style steak, they can have a high-end steak, but they also can have our taste and be a little more high-end, but at the same time, the same quality of meat and steak and chicken and seafood at the same time.
That location is pretty much very near to your place on 303, right?
Yes, that's what we're working on having on it. Again, it's going to take me about a year, hopefully next spring. We're doing the grand opening.
Great.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how working with the town, what that was like, with town government during the pandemic.
I think working with the town, my own experience has been great. The outside dining was great. They gave us that temporary permit, and in hours, you go there and in and out. They know, they understand, we here for business, we have to pay those bills. So they're actually working with us very well.
We passed it again, so for 2021, there's outdoor dining again. As soon as you want to start it, you can get going with it. So.
That's a great news. That is a great news.
So I want to thank you for your confidence in Clarkstown and the people here in Clarkstown. 3 restaurants and soon to be a 4th within a year. I really want to thank you for your entrepreneurship and for having us today.
Thank you very much for working with us and make our lives better and easier.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Hopefully you'll patronize Sangria and the other restaurants that were on the show. If you'd like to suggest a restaurant for a future show, please contact me at supervisor@clarkstown.org. Also like us on Facebook and on YouTube, and please share these videos. Until next time, I'm Supervisor George Homan, and I'll meet you on Main.